Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Outcasted OC on this Saturday afternoon. And what the hell is this? Reese is covering SmackDown? What the hell? I don't think I've ever done it on the channel before. Maybe at the very start, but, you know, to my knowledge, this is the first time, so I'm excited. Never covered a SmackDown, and my favorite people are on SmackDown. So, you know, I feel like this works well for this Summerslam weekend. And before we get into the video, guys, make sure you leave a like if you enjoy my opinions. If you hate my opinions, also like it, because, you know, we're all friends, really, aren't we? Subscribe to the channel, and I'll explain more of that at the end of the video. But we're going to get into SmackDown. Starting off SmackDown the best way possible, baby, because what's his name? LA Knight. Yeah, he starts the show. He opens it up. He comes down to the ring and he says to everybody, yeah, let me talk to you. Surprisingly, you know, because he never says that. He basically then goes on to talk about the Battle Royal that's happening at SummerSlam, the 25-person Battle Royal. Bit of an odd number, in my opinion, for a Battle Royal. I'm not sure why it's not a 31 or a 20-person. I don't know why it has to be 25. Just an odd thing I picked up on. But then he starts talking about certain people in the match. He starts talking about The Miz. He starts talking about Sheamus, calling him pasty, calling him cross-eyed, or like, yeah, he just starts going in on everyone. But essentially, he calls everyone stooges. Yeah, and he's gonna beat everyone basically at SummerSlam and go on to win that Battle Royal. But then he starts talking about Sheamus because he's got a match with him tonight. He says, Sheamus, don't get me wrong, he's accomplished a lot in his career, but there's one thing that he's never accomplished, and that's getting beaten by LA Knight. Yeah. So obviously Sheamus takes offense to this. He comes down to the ring. They both start fighting. It's a pretty competitive match, to be fair, but it obviously serves a purpose, you know. It's just, hey, look at these people who are in the Battle Royal on Saturday night. And then we see more people come out. And there's a few more people that come out who are going to be in the Battle Royal on Saturday. I think for the first person is Santos Escobar, who comes out. There's a few more people who come out. AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. Just to name a few, they start fighting, obviously, because they've got beef. They have another match that's announced for next week, by the way, just to reiterate that before I forget that, because I don't think we're going to have any other time in the show to talk about that. But yeah, they start fighting. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, while this whole brawl is going on, The Miz gets on the apron. Sheamus grabs him, starts giving him the 10 beats of the Byron. Obviously, that's taken care of. LA Knight tries to take advantage of that, tries to roll up Sheamus. Unsuccessful. Sheamus goes for a bro kick on LA Knight. While this is all going on, by the way, Theory jumps Santos Escobar ringside because they've got a United States Championship match next week. So Theory wants to just, you know, beat down Santos ahead of that match, maybe get some momentum going. While this is going on, Sheamus goes for a bro kick on someone who jumps on the ropes. I can't remember who it is. I think it might be one of the OC, but don't quote me on that because I can't remember. Then he turns around straight into LA Knight's finishing move. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, LA Knight picks up the victory. Yes, LA Knight gets a win. I'm actually happy about this. Michael Cole was bringing up something very interesting on commentary, which I tend to agree with, and that's no matter how popular LA Knight is, you've got to give the crowd something to cheer about. And I think he's referencing the fact that he's very, very popular at the moment. You know, he's selling all the merchandise, he's doing all of that lovely stuff, but he's not had a major victory. You know, he was in Money in the Bank, he didn't win that. He was in the United States Championship tournament, I believe, and obviously he didn't win that. So maybe, hopefully, it's my prediction that he probably is going to win the Battle Royal at this SummerSlam. Hopefully the Battle Royal actually means something. There's a lot of rumors going around that the winner of this Battle Royal will get a United States Championship match, which is kind of strange because Santos Escobar is also in the Battle Royal. And he's already got, you know, United States title match. So I don't really know why he needs to be in it. Well, you know, hey ho, whatever. All I care about is LA Knight 1, to be honest with you. You know, I'm never going to complain about that. I'm never going to complain about LA Knight getting a bit of momentum on his side heading into a pay-per-view. Straight after this, Backstage, we see the rest of the Brawling Brutes after Sheamus gets beaten, and the rest of the OC arguing backstage, looking like they're about to get into a brawl. So Adam Pearson comes and says, stop this right now. If you want to settle this, go settle this in the ring. Immediately setting up a tag team match between Butch and Ridge Holland versus Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. So the rest of the OC taking on the rest of the Brawling Brutes, with Meechim outside the ring, supporting the OC. Not much of a match this, to be honest with you. What is interesting in what goes on at the end, but before we get into that, I just want to talk about how Butch looks so good in this match. Like he's just absolutely tearing people's fingers apart in this match. Carl Anderson is just on the floor getting his fingers just absolutely chomped up by Butch, which is really funny to see. Wade Barrett brings up something interesting. I didn't know that it was illegal to target the small joints in the UFC. I don't watch much of UFC, so that was an interesting little tidbit for me. So you're not allowed to go after the little toesies or the little fingies in the UFC. All right, let's just swiftly move on, shall we? Towards the end of this match, the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford come out in suits. Michael Cole screams, in suits. Angelo Dawkins is in a suit. They start beating down everyone in that ring. Both the OC and the Brawling Brutes both get battered by the Street Profits. It looks like they're turning maybe a little bit heel, but for me, it's just the Hurt Business, whether the face or the heels. I'm just happy that we're getting an iteration of the Hurt Business on SmackDown, baby. So they end up taking out both teams, walking out the ring. Bobby Lashley is there watching on. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get this Hurt Business on the go. I made a TikTok about this a couple of days ago. I wanted to know if there was going to be any other members in this faction or if it was just going to be these three guys. I really wouldn't mind it if it was just these three. I won't lie to you, just because, it'd be interesting just to see a different side of the Street Profits for one. And it's always good to see Bobby Lashley getting a little bit more screen time. So, yeah. We go now to a sort of a video package, and I'm not really going to be going into detail about all three of these because they basically say the same thing. This one is just about Charlotte, showing how rich she is, and it's all because of how successful she's been. The 14-time women's champion that she's used to winning. She's undefeated at SummerSlam, and she's going to go on to win at SummerSlam. We get one from Asuka later on in the night, basically saying that no one's ready for Asuka. And then we get one from Bianca Belair saying, she's the EST and, she'll take on anyone, any fight at any time. If you want to make it a triple threat, bet, let's do it. So, it's basically setting up the triple threat match at SummerSlam. I'm happy about that. Like I say, nothing really to talk about, but, it is what it is. Next, we get something a little bit more interesting. Paul Heyman is in the ring to tell us and tell about the rules of tribal combat. He basically gets into the ring and says, your tribal chief Roman Reigns didn't want it to come to this. He didn't want it. He didn't want the family to break down. It was all Jey Uso's fault. If you want to blame Jimmy's injury on something, blame it on Jey Uso. If you want to, blame all of the events of what's been going down, blame it on Jey Uso. But at SummerSlam, what's going to happen to Jey Uso? There is only one person that you're going to blame, and that is your tribal chief, your undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. And there's no one like Paul Heyman, and there is no one that can set up a match quite like Paul Heyman, to be honest with you. I cannot wait for this. He then cuts to a video package, and it's basically talking you through a Samoan heritage. And apparently, I did not know this. The name of the beads that Roman Reigns wears around his, around his neck, that to symbolize that he is the tribal chief, is called the Ula Fala. And in the ancestral bloodline of any Samoan family, this is to signify that you are the tribal chief, that you are the strongest. Basically, you are the breadwinner. You are the protector of the family. And you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to get this Ula Fala and to be the tribal chief. Over the past 3 years, obviously, we've seen Roman Reigns be the tribal chief. And this Sunday, it's not just for the undisputed, Universal Galaxy Heavyweight Champion of the world. It's for the Ula Fala, who is going to be the head of the table of the Anawahi family. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. After this, Jey Uso comes out. He basically talking about lighting Roman Reigns up. He's the head of the table, so you bet he's going to be put through one. He's going to hit him with that stick. He's going to hit him with a chair. All of it's going to go down on Sunday, and he's going to become the new WWE champion. Solo Sikoa then comes out. He gets stopped by Paul Heyman. Jey Uso tells Solo to chill out. Chill out, dude. You're my brother, so no matter what, I will forgive you. It's similar to what was going on with me at the very start of the Bloodline in 2020. Paul Heyman is probably telling you the exact same things he was telling me around that time and all the way through. Paul Heyman's like, no, come on, you can't expect Solo Sikoa to take all this manipulation from you, Jay. Solo Sikoa basically wants to fight Jay, but Paul Heyman is holding him back. Solo Sikoa then ends up sort of like pushing Paul to the side because he's about to fight, but then takes a super kick, tosses him outside the ring, basically. But that is setting up a match for later on tonight. You've got Solo Sikoa versus Jey Uso in the main event. After this, like I say, we get a throwback to last week on SmackDown, the United States Championship Tournament final, where we see Rey Mysterio getting injured. Apparently, he has suffered severe whiplash, and his condition is as it continues. So, he's basically being monitored, apparently. So that's a bit of a shame. We then go to Theory backstage, who is saying Santos Escobar does not deserve this United States Championship match next week. He didn't even win the match. It was called off, so he doesn't deserve it. And he calls himself a man, beating down, injuring his teacher, his hero, Rey Mysterio. But regardless, Theory is going to beat him next week. So Austin Theory, classic Austin Theory. We then get a match, I believe. Give me 1 second. I am checking my noties. Yes, we do. After this, I was just double checking to see if it was directly after it or something else happened. No, it is directly after this. We then get Cameron Grimes versus Austin Theory just in a normal match. Right at the start of the match, Santos Escobar comes out to distract Theory. Theory takes the bait, obviously, but then turns around straight into a cave-in from Cameron Grimes. I thought this was going to be a quick win for Grimes. This wouldn't be the first time he's won a match like this. He's done it many, many a times. That does include a couple of weeks ago when he did it to Baron Corbin. So he's done it in recent history. Never mind all the times that he did it on NXT. But Cameron Grimes dominates most of this match and pretty much shows off why he was so good in NXT, why people were really drawn to him in NXT. He does make a mistake, however. He goes up to the top rope close to the end of this match. Theory basically leans on the top rope, trips up Cameron Grimes. He picks him up straight into A-Town down. 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory picks up the victory, but a really impressive display from Cameron Grimes here. I'm interested to see what this means for Cameron Grimes later on in SmackDown. In the future. I didn't see if he was in the Battle Royal, but he could be one of the finalists in that Battle Royal. I don't think he's going to win, but I think it'd be cool to see him maybe being like the final 4 or something like that. The final 3. Anyway, while this is happening, Theory, he's like, yeah, I won, basically, only to turn around. Santos Escobar hits him with the Phantom Driver, getting some momentum heading into SummerSlam for the Battle Royal and some momentum for next week on SmackDown in his US title match. I can't wait for that. Next, guys, after the commercial break, we now go to the Grayson Waller Effect. Grayson Waller is hosting Damage Control on the Grayson Waller Effect. He says, just like in real life, no one woman isn't enough for Grayson Waller, and that is why I've got the whole of Damage Control. When he gets them out, he basically asks them, Io, are you going to be cashing in on Saturday? Bailey speaks for Io Shirai, doesn't let her speak, and says, Grayson, you're some kind of stupid idiot if you think we're going to tell you and all of these idiots out here our strategy for SummerSlam. But then it's revealed that obviously Grayson Waller's kind of also he's taking a little bit of flack from Bailey, but also kind of on a side because he's like, yeah, you're right, the fans are idiots, yeah. But there is a funny bit that's coming up here next where over the past couple of weeks we've heard scissor noises and Shotzi talking over the in the arena, you know, saying Bailey. And so Bailey obviously starts like looking around, all panicking, all scared, and then Grayson Waller starts laughing, saying, "Ha, I got you. You should have seen your stupid face, Bailey. It was just a trick." Bailey obviously is annoyed about this, but then Shotzi's music actually hits, and like the tank is about to come out, and Bailey's like, "Fool me once, Grayson. Come on, dude. You know it's not gonna work for the second time." And Grayson's like, I didn't do this one. You know, it wasn't me." So like the tank starts coming down the ramp. Bailey sends EO out to intercept the tank. It stops. And you know, there's someone in the tank. We don't know who it is, because when we turn around, Shotzi is in the ring and attempts to try and cut the hair off Bailey. It's really funny. You can hear like the zzz, like the shaver like really loud in the intercom. Obviously, that was like a fake noise to make it a bit louder, so the fans understand what's going on in the arena. It's revealed who was in the tank to be Zelina Vega, because she's got a match with Io Shirai coming up next. So it's we literally jump straight into that match. We do get Zelina Vega right now versus Io Shirai. While this is going on, while this quick match is actually happening, Zelina's putting on a very, very good show in this match, by the way. But Io Shirai is about to go for the moonsault. Shotzi comes out once again, attacks Bailey, distracts Io, tries to cut Bailey's hair once again. Zelina hits this running powerbomb, which is really impressive, and then hits the code red for another win over Io Shirai. So Zelina Vega is quite, getting quite a lot of momentum on her side on SmackDown lately, which is nice to see. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Zelina Vega like moving up the card a little bit in the women's division on SmackDown. I think that'd be interesting to see. Quickly now, guys, we go to the main event of the evening, which was surprising for me. Like I always forget how quickly SmackDown can fly by, because sometimes we get like quite a few video packages, from the week from Raw. And this week was no different. Like I said, we had 3 video packages about Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka. We had one about Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar heading into SummerSlam. Obviously, they try to, really get people to go watch Cody Rhodes' documentary on Peacock. So I'm assuming that's why we saw another, video package about them too. Sorry, guys. I had to take a quick swiggy there. But now we go to the main event, Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa. A match that really doesn't last very long, to be honest with you. It's an interesting match where like even commentary had, coming across as saying like, I think this is a terrible idea from Jey Uso facing Solo Sikoa just like one night before he faces Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat. What if he gets injured? Even Solo Sikoa is saying this, like, you're not making it to SummerSlam, etc. It's noted on commentary, by the way, that at the time of SummerSlam, that will be Roman Reigns' 1070th day as Universal Champion, which is insane when you think about it. Like, it's coming up to, I think, if he holds it to Fastlane, which would have been Payback, I believe, in 2020. That'll be 3 years as Undisputed Champion, which is crazy when you think about it. But yeah, there's this match basically consists of Jey Uso trying to survive against Solo Sikoa. He does get the advantage on him. He eventually hits the spear on Solo, goes up to the top rope for the Uso splash, and gets the victory. Something that I'm not surprised about, but I am surprised about Solo Sikoa taking a pin here. I thought it might have been like a disqualification victory or something. But yeah, Solo Sikoa taking a pin. Usually they do this. They did it similar to Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania. They do this to show how much of a threat the person is. If you can get past the enforcer, then maybe you can go on to defeat Roman Reigns. And I think that's what they try to get across. There's nothing more than I would love nothing more than Jey Uso to beat Roman Reigns. I think it would be the perfect end to the story. But I think it's coming at the wrong time, unfortunately. I don't see the story ending quite so soon at SummerSlam. I think there's a little bit more mileage in it. I think that you've still got the whole Solo Sikoa betrayal angle to go with, because I think he is getting a little bit annoyed with Roman Reigns. And I think he's especially getting a little bit annoyed with Paul Heyman telling him what to do. So, unfortunately, guys, like I say, I would love Jey Uso to take the title off him, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It would be cool, however, if maybe there was like another I Quit Hell in a Cell match, and Jey Uso won there. That like 3 years on, that'd be interesting. Maybe I'm just spitballing, coming up with ideas to see how they could end this feud. But guys, that is the end of SmackDown. I know this feels like it's been a very, very short video for me, mainly because I cover NXT and it's got a lot of like I feel like more backstage like storylines going on, but I feel like I've not been talking about SmackDown that much. But hey ho, I've enjoyed covering it for you guys this week. What did you think of SmackDown? Let me know in the comments. For me, it was like a classic go home show where it doesn't really put the exclamation point on anything. It just gives you a bit of a teaser of what you're going to be seeing at the pay-per-view the night after. SmackDown is usually fallen into that bracket of doing that over the past couple of years, which is fine. It serves its purpose. But yeah, it was pretty much of a meh episode. I enjoyed the Cameron Grimes segment. I thought that was quite good. And there was just a little bit more of the Bloodline Uso story laid on top of there nicely, like a lovely little Bloodline icing cake. That doesn't sound very appetizing. Red velvet cake? Red velvet because it's Bloodline. That sounds a lot better. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel. We uploaded a podcast, Summerslam predictions, on Thursday night with special guest Lana. It was lovely speaking to her. It was lovely hearing her opinions on what she thinks is going to be happening at SummerSlam. If you want to go check that is up on the channel right now. Guys, stay tuned for Outcasted. We have got a Cody Rhodes documentary video coming at some point. I believe it's Monday, because we are doing a SummerSlam review video coming on the Sunday. Look out for Courtney and G amongst other people, other friends. I believe they're going live for SummerSlam on the Saturday night. It's going to be a really, really cool weekend for wrestling, guys. Go follow this channel all the way on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, aka Twitter, which is a weird name and I don't like it, but go follow us there anyway at Outcasted OC. I will leave in the description, guys, a link to all of our individual Instagrams and TikToks, so you can definitely go check us out there as well. But for now, I hope you have an amazing Saturday. Enjoy SummerSlam tonight, guys. Peace out.